Hi, my name is Randy of Keystone Fire Protection. I'm a fire alarm field technician and was the lead technician on the inspection process for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Dredge McFarland at Fort Mifflin, Pennsylvania. The job consisted of inspecting the CO2 systems throughout the ship. There were 6 hose reel systems, 8 what they called semi-fixed systems, individual tanks that put out fires in certain areas, and then a 44-bottle main CO2 system that went to different areas throughout the ship. The job also consisted of the fire extinguisher inspection, the Ansel kitchen hood system inspection, fire alarm inspection, and a fire alarm panel replacement. We had a primary crew of 4 technicians, myself, another lead, and 2 junior technicians. Throughout the project there were 3 different teams of sprinkler technicians with their level 1 helpers. We had a shop technician on site for a period of time providing us nitrogen for pressure testing. We had Ray from the pre-engineered division doing the fire extinguishers and the kitchen hood system inspection. We also had Matt and Ben doing the fire alarm panel replacement and subsequent fire alarm inspection. The biggest challenge that we had was the repiping of the forward and aft port and starboard void space CO2 system. You could do CO2 systems and special hazard systems for 20 years as I have, and you think you've seen a lot, not everything, you could always learn something, but a ship is a different beast. They might only be in port for a week, so you're very limited on time. It was 2-inch piping, and the Dredge McFarland, just like any other ship, is moving in 6 different directions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's forward, back, side to side, left, right. So what we would do one day in piping it and tightening fittings and stuff like that, we'd come back the next day and things would be loose. Some of the other challenges we had were moving high pressure hoses throughout the ship to do pressure testing on the pressure switches, time delays, and pneumatic sirens. And one of the bigger challenges we had was inspecting, weighing, and maneuvering all of the CO2 bottles throughout the ship, but mainly the main bank CO2 system, 44 bottles in the steering gear room. And lastly was maneuvering about 15 nitrogen bottles throughout different decks of the ship to the 8 remote actuation stations for testing of the time delays. In a place where you have pneumatic sirens especially, somebody's life literally depends on you doing your job and making sure that that actually works. You have guys who live and work on a ship 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, who might be in essentially a confined space. There's a very steep ladder, one way in, one way out, and they're doing their work. When the system actuates, carbon dioxide hits that time delay and gives them a 60-second countdown. At the same time, it hits the pressure switches and shuts off the vital machinery that needs to shut off, and activates that pneumatic siren to give that guy who's down in that void space or an engine room time to say, okay, that's the CO2 siren, I need to get out. Those mechanical devices that operate pneumatically from the carbon dioxide, I think, are the best fail-safe method for life safety, and it's important for those inspections to happen so that we know that those work.